celebrating the connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio, featuring your dream team, veterinarian Dr. Debbie White and groomer Joey Villani. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Put those fat little fingers in the phone and dial up to speak to Dr. Debbie, dog trainer Alan Cable, Dogfather Joey Villani, or animal communicator Joy Turner. On the show today, Kat Warren. She has a cadaver dog, or she actually trains cadaver dogs to look for dead. What's so funny?
You said she was a cadaver dog.
No, I said she has a cadaver dog.
What a thing to say. You don't even know what she looks like.
I thought he said she's a cadaver dog.
He did.
You will enjoy today's show if it started out like this. Also, this lady who wrote the book, the big bestseller.
Does this collar make my butt look big?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's a top seller.
Yes, it is.
Bestseller in some states across the country. Joey, what do you get? Smelly cats? You're talking about smelly cats today?
Yep, stinky cats. Stinky cats and how to deal with kitties and their stinky urine.
Is Lisa Kudrow going to sing?
Smelly cat, smelly cat. That's all I know.
You guys were so off. That's not the tune at all.
Yes, it is.
That was rough.
No, that was rough.
Smelly
cat, smelly cat. Why
Nope,
did
she's
you
not.
have to something?
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Everybody!
Smelly cat, smelly cat, it's not your fault.
Monica! They won't.
There, I thought we did pretty good.
I thought we did.
Yeah. Dr. Debbie,
Oh, no.
a little disconcerting today. You tried this out last week. It looks good. The whole Marianne thing with the hair from the
Yeah, the pigtails are growing out. It's a
but
fashion statement.
you brought 2 pigs in today. I'm a little upset. That's what's with all the pigs?
You know what? We've been working with a shelter group and placing pigs into different states that need a home. So we've been spaying and neutering pigs left and right around here, and they're fun. It's just a little different than working on a 5-pound Chihuahua. So it's very labor intensive.
They seem to be getting along with these studio animals very well. Pigs. A lot of people have pigs as pets, don't they?
They do. They make great pets, and you just, as long as you just don't talk about bacon around them, then they're very happy.
How about we take a
Yes,
call? What do you say?
please.
Hey, Sherry, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Good. What's going on with your animal?
Well, I decided to put a doggy door in before the dogs ruined my carpet, and all they do is bark at it like it's a monster or something. So I kind of need some suggestions on how to get them to actually use it.
Oh, they're not using the doggy door. Hey, Alan, but you've never heard about that before.
I've heard it all, Hal. I've heard it all. The dogs have fears of all kinds of stuff, everything. So let me ask you this question. When did you put this doggy door in?
We've had it in for about 2 weeks, and we put it in the wall, not in the door. So it actually has 2 flaps. And all I've really done is just tape the flaps up so that they can go in and out. So they see that they can go in and out, but I'll still come home with surprises. So
Do they use the doggy door with the flaps taped up?
yes, but
So they're
only
not-
to just go out and explore. Then they come back in and use the bathroom on my floor.
So apparently they're not potty trained apparently either.
Oh, they're very well. Let's just say that I'm very potty trained because all I got to do is take them outside and they'll go potty. So, but they don't tell me when they have to go. So, no, I would say that I'm potty trained.
Yeah, see, so the first thing you have to teach them is that they're not supposed to go in the house. That you do before you put the doggy door in. See, everything in the order of things, like nature, like you can't walk till you crawl and you can't run till you walk. And nature with dogs, it's the same thing. In order to teach them to go outside with a doggy door, you first have to teach them that they're not supposed to go inside. And the only way to teach them not to go inside is you got to be there to correct them. And you can't correct them if they have freedom. So you've either got to keep them outside when you're not home, or you got to put them in a crate when you're not home. That way you don't come home to a surprise, and that way you're in control of the situation. So when you get home, you have a structured schedule. So let's say you take them out on a leash together to go to the bathroom before you leave, and then you put them in their crate, and then you wait 15, 20 minutes, and you just leave. You don't say goodbye. You don't say nothing. You just go. And when you come home, When you come home, you leave them in the crate for 15, 20 minutes. You don't say hello. You don't say anything. Then you take them out with no talking, put them on a leash, take them immediately to the bathroom. Then you take them to the bathroom at night before you go to bed, and it's always the same times. And you teach them to go outside. And then after they understand that they're supposed to go outside, which happens, you're saying, good dog, when they go outside, then you give them a little bit of freedom when you're away from the house. You start to leave the house just for little bits of time, or for maybe an hour, an hour you're outside and you're doing your thing, and you make sure that they understand they're not supposed to go in the house before you give them access to the doggy door. Does that make sense? Now, the best way to teach a dog that's afraid, that the dog is afraid of, is not to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid of that. Is to make it fun. And a lot of times, what I like to do is I like to use another dog to teach dogs that things are fun. That they're not to be. There's something that you don't need to be afraid of. Sorry, I didn't sleep good last night. Something with like a doggy door. If you have a dog friend in your neighborhood that you can invite over for a play date, and that dog starts using the doggy door to go outside and have fun, your dogs are just, without thinking, going to start running right through it. The other way, the other thing you can do is, after your dogs are potty trained, you can just go outside and put treats leading up to the doggy door, and then one outside the doggy door. And don't say anything. A lot of people are like, come on, use the door. It's fun. Go outside. Oh, what are you waiting? That's what messes it up. Because the dog
is doing.
Yeah, and that's why your dogs are afraid of the door. Because what you're doing is you're getting excited by the door. And you're not teaching the dogs to use the door, to go through the door. What you're doing is teaching them to be anxious and excited around the door, because you're anxious and excited around the door. It's all about being calm. And whenever a human being gets excited, a dog doesn't know what the heck you're getting excited about. The dog makes a connection. You don't know what the connection is until you observe your dog for a while. And the connection that the dog makes causes anxiety. So you get the opposite effect of what you want. Everything you want your dog to do, you have to approach in a calm manner, like it's no big deal. Don't make a big deal about the doggy door. It's nothing. It's just the doggy door. And if you want your dog to do something, like I see people at the dog park, why don't you get some water? Drink some water. Get some water. And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? If a dog is thirsty, a dog is going to drink. He doesn't need you. Dogs survived in the wild for a long time without human beings being there to go, hey, you better drink some water. Get some water. If you don't drink water, you're going to be hot. So people mess them up. So you got to relax, potty train them, and then teach them that the doggy dog is fun with treats, not talking. When the dog goes through the doggy door, that's when you go, good dog, and give him a treat. So you got a little work to do. To do.
Oh, I knew there was going to be work involved. I was hoping it was going to be easy, but I'm up for it.
Well, you just put them in a crate. Don't feel like you're doing something wrong. They love it in there because you're always happy when they come out. Every time you come home, there's no pee on the floor. You open the crate. You're like, hey, it's good to see you, buddy. And they start to love the crate because they're den animals anyway. But then they really love the crate because every time they come out, they make the connection. Oh, she's happy. She's happy. Okay.
Hey, thanks.
Give it a try.
Good hearing from you, Sherry. 1-866-405-8405. It's toll free to the Dream Team. Hey, say your hey.
So we have to say. I mean, just some observation that I got. When a woman came on the phone, you said, "What's wrong with your animal?" Now, shouldn't it be "What's wrong with your pet"?
You know what it should be?
A little bit more,
what it should be, Joey?
Than that.
You know what it should be, Joey? It should be, "What's wrong with you?" That's what it should be.
When it comes to your questions, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that. I'm going to put a doggy door in my living room because that's where my dogs go, so that would solve a lot of things. Then I know, that's where they go. So I put a doggy door there. But maybe that's what she should do. She should put the doggy door in the house because if the dogs are afraid of it, they're able to go outside. How about that logic?
What do you mean? I think you should put a doggy door in the ceiling. That's where I think they should be.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Alan, I have a question about doggy doors, actually, if I can ask that.
Ask that question.
I have, the two Goldens, and my boy goes in and out whenever he wants to. That's not an issue. My girl does go through it, but she only goes through it when I suggest that she does. She won't automatically by herself. If she wants to go out, she'll stand by the door and wait for me to say, go ahead through that door or open the sliding door that the doggy door is in. So suggestions about that?
Your dog's giving you total respect as a leader. It's really interesting how people interpret things that dogs do. When a dog looks at you and you understand the message your dog is sending, your dog is pretty much saying, you're in charge. What should I do? Am I allowed to do this? And that's a sign of respect in the dog world, because the dog is respecting you as a total leader. It's really cool. I mean, I had a woman, I helped her bring her baby home to her dog. And that was very intelligent that she did that. It's a Rottweiler Pit Bull mix, really powerful dog, about 1.5 years ago. And she goes, I want to bring, I'm going to have a baby, and I want to do it right. I thought about it. There must be some way to do this because it's a change in the dog's life. And so I told her how to do it. But the bottom line is this. I'm going to cough, guys. She calls me up.
Oh, my God.
That was a good one.
That was Kleenex, please.
She calls me up, I think it was a month ago, and she says, I got a problem. And I go, well, what's wrong? And she says, well, the dog hates the baby, because the baby's crawling now. And I said, well, what makes you think your dog hates the baby? And she says, well, whenever the baby crawls into the room, the dog just gets up and he goes to the opposite end of the room, wherever it is, and he lays down and he doesn't look at the baby. He doesn't interact with the baby. And I said, that is the best possible thing. I mean, you're doing everything right. The dog is giving your baby total respect on the food chain, because the dog is giving up space. The dog is recognizing the baby being higher up in the pack than he is, and that's exactly what you want. But you see, that's how people interpret things in human terms. Oh, the dog must hate the baby because the dog doesn't want to be around the baby. So with your dog, when your dog wants to go out, she's not using the doggy door because she's waiting for you to give her permission. And that's really cool. That's a great thing.
That's good, because now I figured out myself. Because when I go to a restaurant and they want to sit me by a baby, I always say, no, put me at the other end of the room.
How would you like to get a free smartphone? If you own a smartphone, listen to this incredible offer that's almost too good to be true. Right now, you can switch your plan and get service with us for as little as $2 a day. Guaranteed for life. Plus, get a free smartphone every year. Call the free smartphone hotline now and we'll move your number from your existing service. Think of your savings. So don't wait. Switch your plan, save money, plus get a free smartphone every year. Call the free smartphone hotline right now. We guarantee you're going to love our service. If you don't like what we say, you can hang up on us. But you won't. Right now, you can switch your plan and get service with us for as little as $2 a day. Guaranteed for life. Call the free smartphone hotline right now. 800-475-3351. 800-475-3351. 800-475-3351. That's 800-475-3351.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Very good. What's on your mind today?
Well, I just got a quick question for you. Thank you for taking my call, too. I appreciate it. But my cat, I've had him for about 2 months now. He's about, I would say, about 20 weeks old or so.
Uh-huh.
He is just really, really clingy, and if I'm laying anywhere, he has to lay on my face and on my chest, and I can't even get him off no matter what. I'll take him and I'll set him at the foot or something, or on the ground. He just comes right back up, and he really doesn't stop.
Like Velcro.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, is his name Velcro?
His name's Buster. But he's a good cat. Besides that, he doesn't hide on anybody, or he's very friendly. But it's just when I'm laying there, he has to be on my face.
And is it always your face that he's going to, or does he hang out on your lap or elsewhere on your body?
He'll hang out on my lap very, very rarely. He's on my face or on my neck all the time. I can't get him off.
And you don't like this, I take it.
No.
Most people would think it's kind of cool.
It was fun for the first month, but when you're trying to sleep, when I'm trying to sleep at night, he'll just come up and he'll just start rubbing against it, and it wakes me up naturally. And he does it a lot.
Well, and Jeremy, I definitely have to say that one of my cats used to do this, and it was like I had a coonskin hat. He would curl up on my head, and he sat up there and purred and drooled and rubbed his face on my head. Oh, yeah. And ultimately, the only solution that I had was to actually ban him from the bedroom at night, or I could not sleep because I was just...
That's exactly what I have. That I close my door at night. And now he'll sit outside my door and howl and meow until I open the door. And then when I do open the door, the thing is, too, he just runs around. He doesn't ever lay on the bed. If I'm on the couch, he'll lay on the couch all day long with me. But if I'm on my bed, he for some reason won't lay up there.
Yeah. Well, part of the trick is that if you want him out of the bedroom, do not open that door. Put earplugs in, because it's just like a small child. You know, they are training us. And if it's not a behavior you want, then close the door, keep the earplugs in, let him work through that. And then as far as the daytime things, the big thing would be, it would be hard to not reward this, because he's finding enjoyment just from rubbing and your contact. So we would want to make sure that we're giving him ample time of other forms of play or contact with him. So get out those little cat dancers, get those things out that you can run around and have him chase. Try to redirect that attention into something where it's not a sitting on my head thing. And preferably the more activity the better, so he doesn't feel like when you're sitting down that's when he's supposed to get his attention and get his contact. But it takes work. It's kind of like you have to turn him into an aerobic athletic cat, so that you can kind of get him worn out at other times.
I gotcha.
And that whole meowing thing, that's tough love. But I'll tell you, if he meows and then you open the door, you're just saying, "Oh, meowing opens the door, gets him in." You got to be tough. And I know it's tough for me, and I'm such a hypocrite.
Jeremy,
hell, you're the worst. We can't even.
Jeremy, is that the only cat you have?
Yes.
You know what? I'd suggest maybe getting another cat.
Ooh, there's an idea.
And that was going to be what I was going to say.
You know, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Another cat, or even some cats that get along with dogs, can benefit from having a dog in the home. So another critter just to direct their attention to. So something to consider.
Absolutely. And the thing is, sometimes too, like I do work odd hours. Like I work like 12:30 to 9 is my usual shift, Monday through Friday. So that's another problem too. I think is that he's not on a normal sleep schedule, because I usually come home at 9 o'clock and I'm usually up till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
But that's a cat schedule. That's cool.
That's prime time.
Okay, that's perfect then. But he'll like sometimes he'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and start howling outside my bedroom, and other times, like for the example this morning, I got to sleep in until 12:30. My dad actually woke me up by the phone today.
Wow.
But it's just it varies for him, and I just don't understand, And as far as the neck rubbing thing, you think just try getting him off and playing with him at that point then?
Well, I wouldn't really at that time. I wouldn't reward him with play,
because they don't come to you at that time every night.
Right.
Exactly. So we want to actually try to anticipate that when you think he might want to do it. You might want to say, I really want to sit on the couch and watch TV. But the action should be at that point. Well, let's get something in play. Let's go chase this little foil ball down the hall. Let's chase after this toy. Do that before you try to do your sitting down, and then see if we can get him a little bit tired or, active at that point.
Excellent.
Well, very good. And who knows, Jeremy? Maybe you find you want to adopt a friend for him.
Yeah, we'll see. I was really thinking about that too, because I think it'd be good for him again. Because I'm gone all day at work, and I'm the only person in the household, so I think that might be good for him too.
Hey, let me tell you, of all the problems we've heard today, that's got to be the.
This is good.
And you know what the thing is too. Like I said, I love him, and it is really good. Like when he does it, and there's certain times that I don't mind him laying there, but it's just for me to tell you all the time, it probably doesn't do it justice. He's got to be there 24/7.
Totally understand that. Totally understand. Well, we wish you the best of luck with this. Let us know how it turns out. Jeremy, thanks for your call.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Hi, this is Doug Ray of the Marshall Tucker Band, and forever you'll always be listening to Animal Radio. Keep loving those pets.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
With today's gas prices, most people are trying to stay away from the pumps, but a peacock in England has fallen in love with one. Every day for the last 3 years, Mr. P, the lovelorn peacock, walks a quarter-mile to visit his girlfriend, the gas pump. He spends the day spreading his fancy feathers in hopes of winning her heart. Ornithologists believe Mr. P is confusing the clicking sounds of the pumps with the sound of a female peacock in a romantic mood. All 3 peacocks that owner Shirley Horseman hatched from eggs have chosen unusual mates. One of his brothers is in love with the family cat, and the other has a crush on a light fixture. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people
too. Animal Radio.
Thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing. If you've written a book, they can help you through the process, cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If they decide to publish your book, your work ends, theirs begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art. Plus, get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and in bookstores across the country. They even help promote your book. Biography, self-help, mystery, novels, sci-fi, or even a children's book. No matter what genre, Page Publishing can bring your book to life. And don't forget to ask about audiobooks. We do all of this for you. Call today for your free writer's guide packed with tips, tricks, and templates to help you finish what you started.
800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. That's 800-215-6815.
This is an Animal Radio News Update. I'm Stacey Cohen for Animal Radio. This is a scary story, and I don't know how this man was able to do it. He was in Canada, and he claims that he grabbed a bear's tongue, but it may have actually saved his life. Giles Sear said he was walking through the woods near Grand Falls, New Brunswick, when this black bear attacked him. He said it was on top of him before he knew it, with a mouthful of teeth wide open in front of his face. He instinctively grabbed the bear's tongue, thinking, if you're going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you too. He managed to escape the struggle and then hide behind a tree, but not before he suffered some scratches on his stomach and a bite wound on his knee. He was treated for superficial wounds at a nearby hospital. Well, there's a virus that was once thought to affect only pigs and birds, but it's being found in dogs now. Dogs in Ohio, California, Southeast Michigan, they've been getting really sick. In some cases, they've died. It's all due to this virus called the circovirus. The symptoms are similar to other common viruses seen in dogs, and veterinarians like Dr. Craig Brakeman at the Banfield Pet Hospital believe that dogs may not be getting tested for circovirus. He said pet owners don't need to be worried about the virus just yet, but use common sense and you should educate yourself on what to look out for. He also suggests making sure your dog is up to date on vaccines. Well, it was often said that people arriving in Australia expect to see wildlife like kangaroo just hopping down the main street. However, it's not often that marsupials are seen inside major facilities like airports. Arthur Stevens has this report on a surprise visit to the Melbourne airport.
Travellers at Australia's second busiest airport had a surprise on Wednesday morning when a small kangaroo bounced its way through the main Qantas terminal and into a chemist shop. The stressed and injured animal hopped past travellers before it was found perusing the haircare section of the pharmacy. A Melbourne airport spokesperson says the roo was visibly distressed after being hit by a vehicle. The chemist was shut down by federal police before volunteers from Wildlife Australia were able to corner and safely tranquilise the eastern grey. It's now being cared for at a shelter after undergoing treatment. Arthur Stevens, Melbourne.
See, I have constituents all over this world, even in Melbourne. I'm Stacey Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com. This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
Hey, this is Paula Poundstone. Wait, I forget where I am.
Animal Radio.
Animal Radio. I love that. All right. Hey, this is Paula Poundstone on Animal Radio. Spay and neuter your pets or we're going to be eaten alive.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
We're so delighted to have, welcome to the air, Dena Harris. She wrote a book, a topic that's really near and dear to us because we have a couple of fat cats here at the Animal Radio Studios. One's on steroids, so it's okay, but the other one just eats a lot. Her brand new book, Does This Collar Make My Butt Look Big?, is going to be a bestseller after today.
This is it.
Mark my word on it.
This is going to make it shoot up on the charts.
Dena, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Do you have a fat cat?
I have two fat cats. Yeah, it's really embarrassing. This is, my fourth cat book, so everybody kind of looks at me as the cat expert on,
sure,
cat health and cat diet, and I'm like, no, my cats are obese. It's embarrassing.
Just like the shoemaker's child is always barefoot.
Yeah, I don't know. Every week we get thousands of questions about animals, but people look at our animals and they go, what?
Yeah.
You're giving us advice?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just nod knowingly, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what you should do with your pet. But, yeah, I obviously have no idea because, yeah, every cat I have is overweight.
Well, now, how big is your pet or your cat, and what really is overweight considered? I mean, is it like 17, 18, 30 pounds?
I've got, we have 2 cats right now, which is ironic because I'm actually allergic to cats, but they're both probably in the 15 to 16 pound range, and they probably should be more in the 12-pound range.
Okay. So you haven't really read your book. Is what I'm...
No, they have vetoed the book since I started writing it. They are not fans of the book.
What you got to say is they started out as 45-pound cats, and then
look at them now.
Yeah. Well, no, this
exactly.
Exactly.
They're like the Weight Watchers model.
Yes, and in all seriousness, there's a big obesity problem with our cats and dogs. And look around because 2 of our 4 are fat. So tell us, what are some things that we can do to reduce the weight without, I free feed them right now. I know that's my first problem, is I just put down food and I let them eat, and when the bowls are empty, I put more down. That's wrong, isn't it?
That's probably not the best strategy. No, not at all. Well, the book itself is actually a parody of all the diet and health books for humans out on the market. So it's much more tongue-in-cheek about how to get your cat to lose weight than it is, actual diet tips to do it. There's a chapter on body cleanses for cats and, exercises like, how many calories can a cat burn climbing up and down the screen door and that sort of thing.
Well, I think our cats have read your book because there is a part in there about eat whatever you want, just throw it up at 3 a.m. in the middle of the bedroom floor so your humans can wake up and
step in it.
Yeah.
I think that is the weight loss strategy of most felines out there. At least my cats, they gorge themselves. I mean, people talk about dogs, rushing to their dish and overeating. Dogs have nothing on my cat. We put food out, and you would think that we abuse them and never feed them the way they charge the dish every morning, and that they just stuff themselves. And then, you find little treats for yourself around the house all day. It's really fun.
It's much easier to get a dog to lose weight.
Yeah, it's
it's hard to exercise a cat.
Yeah, they don't do that.
We try. My vet's like, well, you need to play with your cats and get the red laser point out and get the jingle ball out, and I'm throwing the jingle ball to my cat, and I'm the one ending up chasing it, going, look, this is how you do it, and the cat's looking at me like you're an idiot.
Well, they should have a Weight Watchers for cats or something like that.
That's actually in the book. I talk about, where I have it in the book, I have a dog is actually like the Weight Watchers counsel for the cats calling in, and so the dog's whole strategy is give me your food. The cat's calling for advice, and it's like, can I eat, raw tuna? Can I eat this? The dog's like, no, you need to send that to me. I'll help. I'll take care of that for you.
Oh, I like that. I like that you made the dog smarter than the cat. I like that.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of, how dogs go about things. They're just like the vacuum cleaners of the world.
See, our dog helps our cats. She's always in there cleaning up the bowls.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a fun little book. I like it. I'd like to go ahead and give out 10 copies of it right now. Does This Collar Make My Butt Look Big? It's a diet book for cats, tongue-in-cheek, by Dena Harris, and you can pick it up right now for the first 10 callers. If you're not one of the first 10 callers, head on over to Amazon.com and order that puppy up immediately and make this lady a millionaire.
That would work for me and my fat cat. That would be great.
Dena, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye now. That's kind of cute. I wish I could.
It is cute. I love the cover. The cat, cartoon cat looking in the mirror, turning around, looking at his butt in the mirror with a collar on.
Yeah,
but that's assuming that cats really care what they look like. I haven't seen many cats that really look stressed out about how they're looking. They're kind of just let it all hang out and lick themselves with their belly hanging out.
That's our cats.
Well, they're confident. They're sure of themselves.
Absolutely.
Good day, animal lovers. Vinny Penn, your party animal, coming at you on Animal Radio. Got an interesting question I'd like to ask you folks out there. And, of course, feel free, hit me up at vinny@animalradio.com. And it is Vinny, I-E, at the end, much as my father hated that. He always thought I should go V-I-N-N-Y. But another story perhaps for another time. My question is this. Why is it whenever I park my car in a convenience store parking lot and I'm getting out and cutting between 2 other cars on my way to walk into the store, the rabid, aggressive, hostile beast that someone has left in their vehicle, usually a pickup truck, is ninja quiet until I'm in between the two cars and then lunges through the halfway rolled down window of the truck just at the time that I'm passing through the cars. Can anyone answer that? It's like these dogs are left in the front seat of the vehicle and almost trained to, now you don't make a sound, don't let anybody know you're in there until they're creeping in between our car and the car next to us and then scare the bejesus out of them. Because you know the guys who own these dogs say things like bejesus. The other day I was on my way into the convenience store, just wanted to grab a soda, which I didn't even wind up doing because the Mountain Dew would have finished me off. The heart attack I had in the parking lot, it would have been the final blow. I'm walking in between a car and a truck. This German Shepherd Pit Bull Rottweiler hybrid. Yes, I believe they exist, and I'm going to call it a Germitweiler. I'm going to call it a Germitweiler. Comes lunging through the halfway rolled down window just at the not 3 minutes to 3 seconds before, not 3 feet before, just as I'm in between. And there's just enough window down so that when he's barking wildly, his saliva splatters me on the side of my face. And I have to scream, which I've been told I scream kind of like a girl, in the parking lot of the convenience store. The owner, of course, thinks this is hilarious, but if I was with my 5-year-old, that would have been it. The dogs would have been off limits for the rest of her life. So please, somebody out there tell me, are dog owners training their dogs to sit like ninjas on the front seat of their vehicle with the window rolled halfway down, trained to wait just until that person cuts in between their vehicle and the one next to it, just for laughs? Is it? I got it. It's a hidden camera show. It's when dogs scare the crap out of you in parking lots. And hey, Vinnie Penn's on the debut episode. Vinnie Penn, party animal, Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Find us at animalradio.com. Log on, learn more.
Fido Friendly Magazine presents the 16th annual Cross Country Pet Adoption Tour. Get your licks on Route 66. Along with media sponsor Animal Radio and companion sponsor Zymox, the tour travels down America's favorite highway from LA to Chicago, stopping at shelters along the way to support adoption events and to raise money for the shelters. With the help of cat food sponsor Cat It, companion sponsor Tito's Vodka for Dog People, campground sponsor KOA, grooming sponsor Hands On Gloves, and car wrap sponsor Signs to You. Fido Friendly Magazine brings their giant spinning wheel where attendees can donate money to spin and win Fido fabulous prizes, with all proceeds benefiting the shelter of the day. In the first 15 years, the tour has helped to place over 19,000 pets into new forever homes. Log on to FidoFriendly.com to see where the tour stops near you and come out for a safe, fun way to support your local shelter. And who knows, you might just find your new forever friend.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Well, you lucky dog, don't forget you can get your fix of Animal Radio anytime you want with the Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android. It's made possible by Fear-Free Happy Homes, helping your pets live their happiest, healthiest, fullest lives at home, at the vet, and everywhere in between. Visit them at fearfreehappyhomes.com.
Hey, Jody.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Hey, awesome. I know you're here, Dr. Debbie. I've communicated with you a couple times via email about my children.
Awesome. So who are we talking about today?
Well, actually, both of them. I'm contemplating, I'm just seeing a lot of stuff out there right now about toilet training, and I've been contemplating trying to venture out into that, and I'm really on the fence. I think it would be a really great idea, but they're 11, and I know that that's still possible. But my fear is rebellion and elimination in areas that are not going to be acceptable while I'm in the process. I'm just kind of curious if you've experienced this with other patients and what their experiences have been.
And we are talking kitties, right?
Yes, sorry.
Because I can't help you if we're talking children in the least.
No, cats, yeah. Whether it's a boy and a girl, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank goodness. Whoosh. That was out of my my milieu here. So yes, it depends. Potty training, toilet training, a older kitty can be done, but I'd have to say that I definitely prefer it in younger kitties, just because I find that they're a little bit more malleable in their toilet habits. For an older kitty, yes, we could run into some problems with avoidance and not wanting to use the toilet in place of the litter box. That being said, I know many clients who have done that successfully, and the cat prefers the toilet.
Really?
I think a lot of it is on an individual thing. Now, the only thing I would caution in an 11-year-old cat, if we're asking them to change not just the litter box, but we're asking them to jump up to a much higher structure, there's a lot of kitties in that age group that can have lower spine disease, basically spinal arthritis, and jumping up that high might be asking them a bit much. Now, it's not the kind of thing cats complain about, but it is one of the more common reasons that a kitty might not want to crawl into their regular litter box. So age-wise, I might be a little less apt to recommend that for that reason. But you sound like you've looked into it a bit. So have you dabbled into it?
There's a couple products out there I've researched on the internet. I've also seen a few videos on YouTube, and they show, and I know it's a process. I know it's bringing the litter box into the bathroom, raising it up a couple inches a day, getting them used to the height. Both of them are very spry. I don't have anytime I walk into a bathroom and one of them follows me and they immediately jump up onto the toilet, just to get closer to my level. So I don't know if if the spinal thing is an issue, but like you said, they don't complain about it. But they're both very much willing to jump on top of things. So I think it would just be more of a concern that while we're in the training process, that they might deliberately make mistakes, and what kind of fallout that might have in the household. If it was just me, I wouldn't care, because as far as I'm concerned, I understand that. But I've got other members of the family that may not be as generous with that as I would be. So,
they might not clean up the duty.
Right.
They'll be looking for you.
I'm more concerned about urine than I would be about the other. But, I was just curious if you've had experience with other patients and what types of results. It sounds to me like age doesn't necessarily mean anything, as long as you're, as long as you're considerate of their training process and of their abilities to get it and to back up a step if you need to, and that kind of thing. And I know it's probably a good 4 to 6, maybe a few more weeks to know that that's actually done. But I just was calling in to see.
So do you think you're going to do it?
Maybe even the pet psychic could tell me if my cats are even remotely interested.
Do you think you're going to do it?
I'm still debating.
I'd have to say, though, you did say one thing that you said when you're in the bathroom, they kind of jump up. So if they're kind of like in your biz when you're doing your biz, then, they might be the kind of kitties that will kind of see that almost as a way to join your social toilet, if you will. So yeah, I guess after hearing that, I might be a little bit more encouraged to try it. But
I just don't want to make any mistakes. I tried the, the litter mate once. And without realizing it, I had it on the automatic, so it scared the daylights out of them. And it took me a while to get them, coax them back into using, I should have had it not on the automatic. I should have had it as soon as I know that they've left the room, go in and turn it on and let it do its thing. But I think I scared them off of that. Anyway, I appreciate your time and your opinion.
Send us pictures if it works, will you?
Huh?
Will you send me pictures if it works?
Oh, there's pictures all over the internet that it works, and they are hysterical. I mean, the videos are just too much, and you just watch them and you're like, gosh, I really wish that was mine, because I would save so much money.
Do you have 2 bathrooms?
I have 3.
Oh, okay.
I've got one that would be ideal for them, because I could put the litter box in front of the toilet. There's definitely the space for it to have that capabilities. So I have thought it through. I think it's just taking the step. So,
I wouldn't want to have to share the toilet with the cat. Right?
Yeah, I don't know that we'd want to be sharing the toilet with a kitty, especially if they're...
Don't leave any interesting reading in there, or you'll never get in.
That the kitty's using, it's probably better to leave it that's their bathroom.
Yeah, probably theirs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's something to think about, too. I hadn't thought of it that way either.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I love your guys' show. It's so entertaining to listen to.
It sure is. Thanks. Thank you for calling today.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Hey, this is Brian DeTillo. I play Lucas Roberts on Days of Our Lives, and you're listening to Animal Radio. And please don't forget to have your pet spayed or neutered. That's my favorite saying from Bob Barker, by the way.
Do you have an old car sitting around your house? Maybe you're even paying insurance on it. Well, if you don't need that car anymore, donate it, running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. They will even come and pick it up for free and give you a receipt for a tax donation. Breast cancer screening could save the life of someone you love. And right now, they need your help. They want to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And that's what your old car helps to pay for. So get your phone out and call right now to donate your car to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. Remember, they will come pick it up for free and give you a tax donation receipt. Call right now.
800-793-4880. 800-793-4880. 800-793-4880. That's 800-793-4880.
Celebrating the connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio, featuring your dream team. Veterinarian Dr. Debbie White, dog trainer Alan Cable, groomer Joey Villani, communicator Joy Turner, and here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Well, Judy, you booked quite a show today, have you not?
Don't I always?
Cat,
don't answer.
Yeah. Cat Karen's going to be on the show today. No relation to Cat Cora, the Iron Chef.
I know, you got a crush on her.
Well, remember when she was on the show?
Yes, she was. She
fun. Didn't like me. She doesn't like boys.
No,
but anyway, our guest is not Cat Cora and is, in fact, Cat Warren. She trains cadaver dogs.
People are so sweet.
I wonder how she trains them.
You know, I used to work for search and rescue, and one of the girls, her dog was also a cadaver dog, and she actually had body parts in her freezer that she would use.
Where does she get them?
I guess you get them from medical schools and things like that.
Body part section at Walmart.
Aisle 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, hey, Kat, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
I first want to tell everyone that you're a professor, former journalist with a somewhat unorthodox hobby. You work with cadaver dogs, or a cadaver dog. Is that correct?
That's right. I've got a pup in training, and fingers crossed, in 8 or 10 years, she might be worth something.
It takes that long?
Really?
Oh, no. Well, it doesn't take that long, but, training young pups that have their own ideas about doing things, you think, oh, my God, am I ever going to get there?
Sure. Well, now tell listeners what a cadaver dog is, for those that don't know.
So a cadaver dog basically is a dog that goes out and tries to find somebody who is missing and presumed dead. So the idea is that at the point where police are pretty sure that they're looking no longer for somebody who's alive, a cadaver dog goes out and essentially works areas where their only job is to pick up the scent of human remains and sort of tell the police or the rescuers or whoever is there where that person is.
Now, without getting too morbid, how do you train a dog to find dead people?
Well, ideally, and it depends on the state, but ideally you're using the same materials that they're going out searching for. So in North Carolina, we've got pretty reasonable laws about what we can use for training materials. So, I have teeth, I have some bone, I have often a little dirt from underneath a decomposing body is a really good thing to train dogs on because that dirt contains a lot of scent, as you can imagine, for any number of years. And so you're trying to train the dog on the spectrum of scent that they're going to find if they're out looking for somebody, or if they're looking, not to be morbid, if they're looking for part of somebody. And in some states, you actually can't have those materials, and some people work with stuff called pseudoscent, which is what we've got as the closest approximation
fake
of human remains.
Yeah, fake dead, which I think is bottled. Yep. It's Carrot Top's career is in a bottle. Is what they.
But now I can understand placing these items around and having training the dog. But how do you train them to search for somebody in the water?
The water stuff is fascinating, and it's the same thing. The fact is that once somebody is gone, if you say have a drowning victim, and not to be too delicate about it, they decompose just like they do on land, and that means that they're sending up gases, essentially. Right. And I shouldn't use the metaphor that I used with grade school students or high school students. So it's like we've all farted in a bathtub. We know what that looks like. We know how gases will come up to the surface,
are real
right?
Quiet.
Accidentally or on purpose, and then the dog at that point in a boat is actually just picking that up at the surface of the water, and sometimes oils come up too. So I have loved watching dogs work on water and teaching Solo how to do it, but also in the research for the book, 220, 230 feet of water, which is like 11 stories or 12 stories high. It's an amazing thing until you think about the fact that those gases are at the surface of the water.
Sure. My dog, Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, a small little 10-pounder, she likes to roll in dead stuff all the time. Is she a good candidate for this type of dog, or are there certain breeds that like to roll in dead stuff more?
I've had dogs who like to and dogs that don't, and it doesn't seem to be relevant. I would say that what you want in a dog who's doing searches is you want them to be able to cover the territory. So the tiniest little Chihuahua may not be the best for covering 200 acres of North Carolina woods. And you want a dog that's got a lot of energy and wants to work for a reward and has a nose. And so the early military researchers were working with some lap dogs for bomb detection and for detecting guns in airports. They wanted a dog that they could take into an airport where it wasn't immediately obvious what the dog was there for. And during hijackings in the 70s, the military researchers thought, you know what? Let's try whippets. Let's try lap dogs. I have beautiful snapshots of poodles in airports, right? You need a dog with a nose who's happy to work for a reward. Do you want to train your dog to do that? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. We have one of these ugly corpse flowers that blooms every 6 years. No, we don't. But
I couldn't help writing about it. The name was too beautiful.
It smells like death. Essentially, it's the only flower that
smells like death. It has putrescine and cadaverine, a couple of the compounds. Yeah, it smells really, really bad.
Do you use that at all as a simulated smell of death?
No, because, there are a lot of things that have those compounds. Certain kinds of cheese that my husband loves
Yep.
has that in it. So what you really need is as close as you can get to what the smell of human remains is. And animal remains are even different than human remains. So you're trying to really get close. And I think that Solo would not be fooled by a corpse flower.
Is this pretty cool or what?
Well, it is really cool, and I've actually worked with dogs that sniff for bombs at the airport. And, they are unassuming, and we used to train them to sit in front of a bag that had something suspicious in it. And, you'd walk these dogs through the airport. Nobody even pays any attention to them because they just look like, little tiny, unassuming. Some of them were mutts, too. So It isn't. I have a question. How long will the gases rise to the top of the water? Like, let's say a body disappears. What's the time frame where, the dog could actually find a body before it stops giving off a scent?
I think it depends on the temperature of the water. I think that it depends on where the body is. There aren't any good studies about bodies in water. There is plenty of evidence showing that dogs can smell remains that have been around for hundreds of years.
Alan, are you
I always
planning
tell-
something?
Yeah, that's a very
Alan, what are you
suspicious
planning?
question.
I always tell people, the
worry about
dog
the
is.
time frame.
Yeah.
Within your lifetime, a dog can probably, if the water's cool enough, still figure out where something is.
Wow.
I always tell people that dogs, they have this amazing sense of smell attached to a tiny little brain. I mean, you got the 2-year-old mind with the incredible sense of smell. It's almost like a crazy person with a tank. Somebody who can't do math with a tank.
Yeah, I've always kind of thought that humans have a pretty bad nose attached to a pretty small brain. So,
well, we've only touched the surface of this great book. It's called What the Dog Knows, The Science and Wonder of Working Dogs. The author, Kat Warren, is joining us, and I have 10 copies to give away right now. If you're not lucky enough to be one of those 10 callers, head on over to your bookstore or head online to Amazon and type in What the Dog Knows. Kat, we thank you for spending so much time with us. We're going to have to do it again soon.
Thank you so much for having me on.
You know why dogs roll around in dead stuff?
Why?
Well, scientists don't actually know for sure, but they think it's to disguise their scent. When dogs were in the wild, they didn't want to be prey. So to disguise their scent, and that's why their poop stinks too. So to disguise their scent, they would roll around in dead stuff so that anything that could eat them would think that they were just smelling something that's already decomposed and dead.
Well, there's nothing
That's pretty cool.
Ladybug will pass dead. She's got to roll in every smell.
Oh, yeah.
You got to give her a bath like once a day, twice a day sometimes. Not really. I'm prefacing
my
that.
dream.
Yes.
My dream customer.
Well, fortunately, I just stick her in the sink. She's wash and wear. There's no drying or anything.
Dogs are amazing.
Stacy, what are you working on?
Well, just like with humans, pet insurance, they only seem to cover a certain amount of things. And it used to be if you had a pre-existing condition, you couldn't get coverage for yourself. Well, that's changing. And you know what? It's changing in the pet industry, too. If your cat or dog has a hereditary or a congenital condition, some good news. I'll tell you about it coming up on Animal Radio News.
Well, this portion of Animal Radio is underwritten by Fear-Free Happy Homes. Don't forget you can get your fix of Animal Radio anytime you want with the Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android. Download it now. It's made possible by Fear-Free Happy Homes. Helping your pets live their happiest, healthiest, fullest lives at home, at the vet, and everywhere in between. Visit them at fearfreehappyhomes.com.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
Leftover pizza can be a real treat, but leave the reheating to humans. Skylar, a golden retriever poodle mix from Chicago, tried to make a meal of the pizza her owner left on the stove, but ended up setting the house on fire. Skylar started the fire by trying to grab the pizza, pushing the pizza box near the burners, and turning the stove burner on with all the jumping and pizza grabbing. Firefighters found Skylar passed out from the smoke with her usually white coat pitch black from the soot. Medics used 3 canisters of oxygen to revive her, and now she's doing great. The house? Not so well. Damages from her pizza diving are estimated at around $50,000. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio.
Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Do your dogs go nuts when they hear fireworks or during a bad thunderstorm? It's not their fault. They have sensitive ears. You love your dog, and so do we. That's why we developed a perfect solution for your loved pets by eliminating the harmful noise. It's called Doggy Hush, a unique waterproof set of headphones that go over your dog's ears. They're so comfortable, your dog won't even know they're wearing them. And when this happens, your dog will feel and stay safe and stress-free. Go to doggyhush.com. Enter the promo code we're about to give you for a free special gift. Again, buy Doggy Hush for your dog today and protect your dog's ears from fireworks, thunderstorms, and a lot more harmful noises. Go to doggyhush.com and enter this promo code, Radio4. Radio and the number 4. Go to doggyhush.com right now and enter the promo code Radio4. Again, that's promo code Radio4.
Miss Cone.
Do you ever find yourself at home alone, drinking a glass of wine, thinking, I just wish I had somebody here with me? Then you look at your cat and Then your cat hides and jumps on the curtains or something. Well, now in Japan, they're kicking back with their cats. There's a wine for cats that's been developed.
Oh, boy.
It's got catnip in it, too. I'll give you all the details coming up on Animal Radio News.
I'm going to stick around just for that.
I was going to say, just make sure you don't grab the wrong glass.
I might try it. You never know. Could be good.
Joey, it's so good to have you back. Thank you so much. It was...
Yes, thank you.
Alan's in a bit of a mood today. He didn't get much sleep last night.
I got a lot of problems, man.
I understand.
Got problems. You people don't care. I mean, you don't care.
Alan,
about
we don't
my
have
problems.
time for all your problems.
I had issues last week, Joey.
He did have issues last week.
You had issues?
And they've
I had
carried
lots.
on to this week.
They've doubled.
Put your issues aside for just the next couple of hours, Alan, as we answer listeners' questions about their dogs. Dogfather Joey Villani is also here. Dr. Debbie and animal communicator Joy Turner. Hi, Diana. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
What's going on?
Oh, I have a reindeer who has gotten extremely aggressive.
Wait.
Okay, wait.
Like a reindeer Chihuahua breed?
A reindeer, Rangifer Tarandus, yeah.
Caribou. Okay.
Oh, as a pet. Okay.
Well, actually, I have the largest herd of reindeer in California. So, yeah, they're my pets, but at Christmas time, they work. And this one's gotten very aggressive, and it's a female. I've had her for 2 years. She's never done this before. She has to go to work in about a week and a half, and she'll be gone for the whole season. And at one point during the time she's out there, I actually have to get in an elevator with her. And the way she's behaving right now, I don't think that can happen. So anybody with any ideas, help.
So she's aggressive to you or to other reindeer?
She's gone after two of my handlers. So far she hasn't come after me, but she's gone after two of my handlers, and just without any warning, just suddenly, bam.
Wow.
I don't think she wants to do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And is she in a breeding herd, or is she kept separate, or how is that?
No, I don't have a breeding permit, so she's not in a breeding herd. Okay. But it is, you're right, it is the season of rut, so it may be hormones, but it hasn't happened before, which makes me worry.
The season of what? What was that?
It's called the rut, or the rutting season, and it's basically the mating season, which kind of falls in the October, November months.
That's interesting they call it the rut.
So,
yeah, his antlers are going to drop soon, right? Here we go.
Yeah. No, so ignoring Hal here.
I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Mrs. Claus is calling Animal Radio.
So, I guess part of that would be, and I'm digging deep here because I'm going to be honest here with you, Diana. My forte is definitely small animals, so I'm pulling out some data out of my rotten brain cells from back in vet school here. But even though she may not be bred, certainly she may be showing some aggression from just being in that hormonal season. And in the winter months, the reindeer, I don't know if you've experienced this, but some of the females are actually far more aggressive. And if they're in a breeding herd, they're going to be even heightened in their aggression. And that's just because they're, protecting their developing offspring. So I guess this is going to fall into a little bit more of like herd management and population management. As far as I don't know within the scope that she's behaving or that she's handled right now, I'm not sure that her behavior is going to be very good for continuing that. I don't know if you're familiar with you may be already a member of the Reindeers Owner and Breeders Association.
Yes, I am.
Okay, because I do know that there are some resources with that group, with some folks across the country, and they might be, a little bit more skilled at how to manage the population aspect of things. But I got to say, gosh, you got to be careful there with your handlers.
Well, yeah, I'm used to getting beaten up by the boys, but the girls, this is a totally out of character.
Wow, I just don't think of reindeer as being aggressive at all. I mean,
well, when the hormones kick in, they don't have any control over who they are.
Yeah.
Any deer. They're more dangerous tiger, I think, than they're.
Yeah. Well, and we say the men with hormones are, they're equally as dangerous and dumb.
Amen to that one, I guess. But anyway, I was thinking of putting, for horses, they have stuff that's got valerian in it, that's a feed-through type thing that I could mix with their pellets. And I wasn't sure if that would be something that would help her or not to level off a bit.
That might be a possibility. And, some of the other things that I know for more topical or environmental treatment will be things like dilute lavender oil. I don't know how much that might help with the hoof stock, but, it would certainly be worth something trying.
I was thinking if I could get some of those yellow mushrooms with the red spots, reindeer like, I could get her drunk and she'd probably be in a better mood.
Oh, my God.
She's counting down the days till the big day here come December.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm still working with her, but I'm not letting anyone else work in her, but I'm dreading the elephant ride with her, so that's the worst thing coming up. Once she gets where she's going, no one has to handle her, so she's strictly on display, but it's getting her in and out of the building and up and down the elevator that's a little bit unnerving to me right now with her behavior, so hopefully we can get it done.
Well, my best wishes go out to you there, Diana. I mean, heck, I have some Great Danes that are hard to manage in the hospital. Getting a caribou into an elevator is going to be a challenge.
Hey, send us a picture. Will you send us a picture of your deer? Can you?
I sure will.
I'd love to see.
Send it too.
Well, you can either do it to your Facebook page there or to yourvoice@animalradio.com. Yourvoice@animalradio.com. We'd love to see that. We'll post that up at the website. And I've learned so much on the show today. Thank you from the listener.
Okay.
Take care of yourself. There you go. Mrs. Claus calling and very upset because her deer are aggressive this year.
The female
deer, because they're in a rut, which is exactly what I call it, the rut.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
How would you like to get a free smartphone? If you own a smartphone, listen to this incredible offer that's almost too good to be true. Right now, you can switch your plan and get service with us for as little as $2 a day. Guaranteed for life. Plus, get a free smartphone every year. Call the free smartphone hotline now and we'll move your number from your existing service. Think of your savings. So don't wait. Switch your plan, save money, plus get a free smartphone every year. Call the free smartphone hotline right now. We guarantee you're going to love our service. If you don't like what we say, you can hang up on us. But you won't. Right now, you can switch your plan and get service with us for as little as $2 a day. Guaranteed for life. Call the free smartphone hotline right now. 800-475-3351. 800-475-3351. 800-475-3351. That's 800-475-3351.
This is an Animal Radio News Update.
I'm Stacy Cohen for Animal Radio. Some of the hardest workers in the California agriculture industry are in crisis. California's $4 billion almond orchards are dependent on bees that pollinate the trees, but honeybee expert Dennis Van Ingelsdorp said over the years, bees have been steadily dying.
We look at the summer loss that occurs between April 1st and October 1st. They lost about 25% of their colonies over the summer, and that's traditionally the time of year that colonies thrive.
He told a California committee there's various reasons that bees are dying. They include pesticides and a mite that sucks bees' blood and then spreads viruses throughout their colonies. Well, officials at Australia's Melbourne airport recently cornered and captured a kangaroo inside the facility's pharmacy. According to The Age, an airport spokeswoman said the animal made its way inside after it was injured by a car outside the building. Can you imagine just you're going in to get your prescriptions and all of a sudden you see this kangaroo hopping around? You think, I need that medication filled right now. The kangaroo managed to get to the second floor. He hopped into the pharmacy before volunteers from Wildlife Victoria were able to capture him, and then they had to sedate it. The rescuers said the animal was taken to a vet to be examined. Well, wine drinkers in Japan can now share a glass with their feline friends, according to Kotoku.com, the pet products company B&H. They are releasing a wine for cats. It's called Nyan Nyan Novu. Apparently in Japanese, Nyan Nyan refers to a cat's meow. While the wine doesn't actually contain any alcohol, it is made from Cabernet grapes, and it's also blended with vitamin C and a little catnip mixture that supposedly tastes similar to red wine. How would they know that? I mean, does the cat know that or somebody drank it, I guess? I wonder if you can get drunk on catnip. That's a cheap thrill. The limited edition wine will set purchasers back about $4. That's like Boone's Farm. Same thing. I'm Stacy Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
What's up, everybody? My name is George Lopez. I don't know how I became a crazy dog person, but I rescued Chihuahuas. Yeah, they rescued me from probably getting remarried. Come on. You know, these dogs are incredibly helpful to all of our lives, and I think that's what it's all about. I'm glad they can't talk, though, because I don't need to have anybody know how many times I come down in the middle of the night for something to eat.
Please, always adopt dogs. Never buy them. And always spay or neuter.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
Dr. Debbie.
Hey, what's up?
What up, girlfriend? What up, G?
G.
Helen, girl.
Oh, for girlfriend.
G, girl.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, man, you are so touchy. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
I was
you're
like,
touchy. Just trying to give affection. Just trying to be sweet.
Wow.
And look what happens.
Wow. What a change, Alan. You were grumpy with the boys. Then Dr. Debbie comes in the studio, and all of a sudden, you're just all...
Well, Dr. Debbie's got one thing you boys don't have.
Yes.
Looks.
Ow, dear. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what I'm getting into here now. Just because you guys have like little... Are you having little tiffs or something?
I just love being surrounded by women. Guys are so boring. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Debbie? Aren't guys just... what do they talk about? What do guys talk about? Nothing.
I like guys. Man, some of my favorite clients, the ones that are most kind of interesting to talk to, are the older men.
That's because they think you're hot. They think you're hot.
I don't know about that.
Why.
I have fun. They have great life experiences and funny stories, I'll tell you.
Yeah, the older guys.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Colorado.
I love it. Beautiful, colorful Colorado. What's up?
Not much. Just thought I'd call in. I had a question for Dr. Debbie.
She's right here.
All right. So what's going on?
Well, a while ago, I've got two Shih Tzus, and one of the younger Shih Tzu, one day we come home, was walking kind of funny, born to a litter that had a lot of problems, and kind of limped around, lost his appetite for a while. We took him to the vet, and she did some x-rays on him and kind of find out he doesn't have a tailbone.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And, of course, they've always told us, we should crate him, not let him run, jump, that type of thing. And this is just one happy little puppy. He's 7 years old. He's still a puppy. He never outgrew that stage. He's just happy as can be all the time. We've started putting him on pain medication to help out with his back and stuff. But kind of curious, what does future hold? I mean, is there going to come a time where, possibly maybe he can't walk at all because of not having a tailbone?
Well, it kind of depends a little bit on where we're talking. Now, if we're talking about a tailbone, so I want to make sure we're clear visually. So did they find that he was lacking the proper number of vertebrae in his back?
No, according to the vet, he has none. No tailbone at all.
No tailbone at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to know a little more, I guess, specifics and locations where. Now, so was he having problems you said he was having trouble getting around? Did the doctor feel that was attributed to his lack of a bone back there?
Yeah, what we think had happened was I'd been out fishing. I think the dog tried to jump on the couch and possibly missed it. And maybe, kind of tweaked his back a little.
Okay.
And at that point, had lost his appetite a little and just wanted to kind of lay around, not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not this dog. This dog is, happy-go-lucky all the time. So that's when we found out, and the vet was really shocked to find out that, as she explained to me, basically he has no tailbone.
Okay. Well, there's some different things that are coming to mind as you're describing that. And now he has a tail, I take it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So as we're looking along a dog's spine, there's different locations of vertebrae. So there's a vertebrae in the neck, what we call the cervical area, in the chest, kind of the thoracic. That's the main part of the body. The lumbar area, which is kind of the lower spine. And that joins into an area called the sacrum, which is where the tail vertebrae come off. So depending on where the location of the lack of the bone, there's definitely bones there, but we are missing something important in that area. Now, not every dog that has a inherited spine disorder like that, not all of them will have problems. And the problems can occur when the lack of the bone, or if there's a shifting of the nearby vertebrae where that causes some compression against the spine. So if the doctor felt that kind of the walking funny and all of that might be attributed to that, this might be the beginning of some problems that are coming. If it was just something that they felt, it was more a strain or a sprain that he did, just kind of being a young, active goofball, then this may just be an incidental finding, something to know about, that he has a special area and that he may develop some problems. Doesn't guarantee it, though, at all. So, but I do think it is something very important to be aware of. And in the lower back area, when we have a congenital problem with the bones, we are very watchful for things that are jumping related. So up and down, crazy acrobatic type stuff can potentially put a pet who has a weak area, if you will, put them a little bit more at risk for injury. So that would be, a type of activity I would use some caution in guiding him what he can and can't do. And also making sure, he stays in good, healthy weight, and watch for some of the most common symptoms of lower spine disorders. And those can be things where the legs might be wobbly or a little sloppy, if you will, so they don't kind of walk on the nice right, left. They kind of sway a little bit like they had too many margaritas at the bar.
Well, he's a skipper. He always skips when he walks. He's done that since he was a puppy.
Okay. Well, that may be either his personality or, his kneecaps. Sometimes that kind of thing goes on in these little guys. But so having wobbly back legs or having problems where we're getting up and down. So if we see almost like an old dog where if they're kind of push and groan to get up, that might be a sign that we're having some problems in that lower area. And then the other thing would be really watching urine and defecation down in the pelvic area. If we have problems with those nerves, occasionally we can see some problems with continence. So that would be something to really make sure we're not having accidents or having difficulties going.
Okay. We've also been thinking, the most jumping he does is the floor to the couch area because the bed's too high. He can't make it. So he always lets us, put him up and put him down. But I was thinking about getting one of those little stairs for dogs to walk up and down the couch area and stuff like that. You think that would help?
It certainly can. And in my preference, I always tell my clients, don't let them do this. And they look at me and like, really, Doc? And I'm like, yeah, really. That's the ideal. So if we can't have the ideal work, then things like the doggy stairs can be a great way to kind of meet in the middle with him and look him in the eye and say, okay, I don't want you to go up here without me helping you. But if you're going to do it, I'd like you to use these stairs and teach him how to use those.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your call.
Yeah.
And give that baby a good pat on his head. I love my Shih Tzus.
Yep. All righty.
1-866-405-8405. Yes, sir.
Can I just say this, Deb? Can I just say, I think the whole reason why at least half of the people get those dogs is so they can say a dirty word and get away with it. That's just my opinion.
The Shih Tzus.
Yeah. See, you say it with the cool French accent, but most people don't say it that way. Hal, say it.
Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? See, you said a bad word. That's all I heard was a bad word.
And I do have that kind of, how, when you're in trouble as a kid and your parents, use your full name when you're in trouble? That's what I do for Boss. So when Boss is a good boy, he's a Shipuki, a Shih Tzu Poodle Yorkie. When he's bad, he's a Yorkie Pooch.
Wow.
Thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing. If you've written a book, they can help you through the process, cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If they decide to publish your book, your work ends, theirs begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art. Plus, get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and in bookstores across the country. They even help promote your book. Biography, self-help, mystery, novels, sci-fi, or even a children's book. No matter what genre, Page Publishing can bring your book to life. And don't forget to ask about audiobooks. We do all of this for you. Call today for your free writer's guide packed with tips, tricks, and templates to help you finish what you started.
800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. That's 800-215-6815.
You're listening to Animal Radio. If you missed any part of today's show, visit us at animalradio.com or download the Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
And Bill, welcome to the show. What's up?
Hey, how you doing today, Hal?
Very good. What's up with you? Where are you today?
Well, today I am in Virginia, Emporia, Virginia.
Not familiar with it. What are you delivering?
At least it's not snowing.
Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, you're calling for, what are you calling for? What's up?
Well, I've been a dog groomer. I learned to groom dogs back in 74, 75.
Really?
I went to school in Memphis at a guy named Sam Ballman's dog grooming school.
Have you ever heard of that there, Joey?
No, actually, I never heard of that school.
Well, he's probably dead now. He was pretty old when I learned it. But there was one aspect that he didn't teach, and I'd kind of like to learn it because I want to do some target practice on my ex-wife.
Target practice on your ex-wife?
Are you sure you're talking about pet grooming?
Anal gland.
Well, you know what? If you get good enough at it, yeah, you can. You definitely can do some target practice because I've done that before. You know, it's fun. It's a crappy job, but somebody has to do it. And so you never were taught anal glands, huh?
Well, hearing you and Dr. Debbie talk about it, I know that y'all can do it. I was wondering if you can give me some pointers on how to do that.
What we do as pet groomers is we do it from the outside, where veterinarians will actually go inside. And what you want to do, you hold your fingers on the side. Now, this is going to be attractive here, Hal. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But if you place your fingers on the side of the rectum, okay, and you'll feel the anal glands, what you want to do is you want to be on the outside of it, okay, and you want to feel if it was 3 and 9 o'clock on the side of the rectum, and what you want to do is you want to go in and you want to like pinch it, put your fingers a little bit behind and pull forward, and you want to do that gently, okay? You may have to do it a couple of times until you feel comfortable, but when you do it,
and right, not forward.
You want to pinch it as if you're pinching it, like you're pulling forward. You want to pull forward. You don't want to push in, because when you push in, what? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Forward would be towards the dog's head, right? So you'd want to pull to the rear?
No, you want to pull to the rear. You want to pull towards yourself. You don't want to push in. You want to pull toward yourself. Okay, now what you want to do is be out of the line of fire when you do this, you know, aim the butt, you know, maybe a little bit off to the side. Wherever your ex-wife is standing, aim it that way, okay, and pull forward gently. And what you want to do, you want to finesse it a little bit because you'll feel it. It's almost, I hate to say this, it's like squeezing a pimple almost. And what you want to do is get from the bottom and pull forward, and you'll start to see it little by little come out through the rectum. And once it starts coming out, then if the harder you squeeze it, the quicker it's going to come out. But what you want to do is do it slow and steady. Okay, you don't want it to be uncomfortable. If nothing is coming out, you're probably not grabbing it properly. And sometimes they can actually go in what they call, they oil it. They actually put Panalog in there, and they get it loosened up, veterinarians, and then they have to do it. But if it doesn't come out easy, don't force it. Don't do it. And you know what? It takes a few times. It takes a little practice. I'll be very honest with you.
How many feet can you shoot it?
I have, honestly, and I'm trying to think, my bathing room, I probably shot it at least 15 feet. If I really wanted to get you, I can probably get you from about 15 feet.
Wow.
So that takes practice, I guess. I've done anal glands, but I never shot them. I guess that's another whole practice.
What the vet does is different than what the groomer does.
Well, yeah, the vet goes inside, and I don't. You know what? Groomers aren't trained to go inside. I mean, just do it from the outside. And if you can't get it, don't force it. It's not something you want to force. You can hurt the pet. Sometimes it'll go in reverse. It'll go in and then cause an infection. So what you want to do is finesse it, pinch it, pull back towards you lightly, and you'll feel it. You'll actually start feeling it move. It'll start releasing. And once you feel that, squeeze a little bit harder until it comes out, but gently and slow.
And aim correctly.
Bill, does that help you at all, Bill?
Well, I have always had a rag or a paper towel and held over it when I did it. So what I
Yeah,
got to
you could
do
do
is
it that
not
way.
use a rag and get my hand out of the way.
There you go.
And about 10 to 15 feet away would be perfect. That way I could sneak it up on her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. It's no fun with a rag, Bill. Come on. We gotta, we gotta go commando here.
Bill, thanks for your call today. We always look forward to your calls. They're always very entertaining. There goes Bill. He's a very angry gentleman.
He didn't sound too angry.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Be sure to download the Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android. You can listen anytime and ask your questions of the doctor, the dog trainer, the Dogfather, Joey Turner, anytime you want. Could be 2 in the morning. AnimalRadio.com is where you'll find out all the ways to listen to Animal Radio and download the Animal Radio app. Dr. Debbie knows her Yorkshire Terriers, her Shih Tzus, her Pugs, and her Mini Schnauzers. And check out her books, How to Be Your Dog's Best Friend on Kindle. And we have links over at the Animal Radio website. I also want to thank Kat Warren and Dena Harris for joining us. What was her book's name?
Does this collar make my butt look big?
That's very special to me because about 2 weeks ago, my mother-in-law, who lives with us, asked me that question. Does this, what do you call those things? Burqa? No, not burqa. What do you call it? Moo-moo. Does this moo-moo make my butt look big? And I said, no, actually this house makes your butt look big. And that's when I stopped being able to walk up steps for a week.
Yeah. You were just trying to get your mother-in-law out of there.
Oh, I wish she'd go away.
You know the answer to that question.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do, but I don't, she doesn't like, it's mutual. There's a mutual love there of not loving.
Wow. See, I love my mother-in-law.
You're so lucky.
And
I'll trade you.
Yeah, and Hal doesn't have a mother-in-law. He's lucky.
Ugh.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm not done. You guys just turn the light off and I'll just stay.
Okay, see you, Alan.
See you, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio Network.